I would rather be able to lock in profits than to wait 10 years and go back to zero.
So, hi mga Noypi. Welcome to our first, the new Noypi interview video. To kick things off, let's talk about how to be financially free. Today, we will be joined with a well-known stock trading in a stock trading community and also a YouTube personality. Let me introduce to you Miss Celeste Rodriguez.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Celeste. Thanks for having me, Dion. And
Thank you.
it's currently Father's Day, so
Yes, sorry, my bad, my bad.
no, it's not. It's both of our
uh,
decision to do this.
uh,
So yeah, well, just like everyone,
mhm,
I'm stuck at home. But before that, it's been my lifestyle naman na. Kasi I work from
mhm,
home because of being a full-time trader, and I trade anywhere there's an internet connection. So as long as
mhm,
my
mhm,
internet, I can get to work.
mhm,
And currently, I am a trading psychology coach,
mhm,
mostly for Filipinos. But now
mhm.
I also work at a prop trading firm in Europe for
I see.
forex traders, and I coach their fund managers. This is what I do. But I used to be a nurse. I used to be a nurse before I jumped into the field of finances. So medyo malayo.
When were you nurse before you ventured into stock trading ba? Or before you known yung financial world and stock trading?
So actually, what really happened was, I graduated from school. So I graduated from USD, then I
Mhm,
passed on boards. Tapos, I got my first job at a local hospital. It's one of the best hospitals in Manila. So I got
mhm,
my first job there, and I was very excited, because I was one of the few people who actually went to nursing because I want to be a nurse. So hindi
mhm,
dahil
mhm.
pinilit ng magulang.
Yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah.
yeah,
I
very
remember
rare.
Jokoy.
Yeah, I remember that time almost everyone halos pinilit na ng parents naging nurse ako. I really wanted to be a nurse. So I was so excited and became a nurse at a local hospital. But upon my first day, Kion, I realized it wasn't for me. It wasn't the way I imagined it. I was very interested in helping people, helping the sick,
Mhm,
but there's a lot of bureaucracy when it comes to hospitals. I think people at the healthcare field would understand this na hindi directly interested in patient care. So there's so
mhm,
many
mhm,
things that stops you from patient care, and I realized on my first day, it wasn't
mhm,
even on my first week or my
mhm,
first month or
mhm,
my first week.
mhm,
It was the first day. I said, this is something I don't think I can keep doing for 10, 20, 30 years.
mhm,
I have
mhm,
to find a way. So that was one. But still, I overall yung experience ko as nurse, half a decade. I was a nurse for 5 years, and
mhm,
but upon first day, I realized that hey, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I have to figure out where I want to go,
mhm,
and it really started with me going into stocks as a financial literacy thing. Okay,
mhm,
kasi I don't know about you, but of course
mhm,
I wasn't taught money at school, just like
mhm,
everyone
mhm,
else,
mhm.
right?
Yes, yes.
Money wasn't really even talked about at home.
Mhm,
Kasi
mhm,
sensitive topic siya. There's
mhm,
always
mhm,
this prevalence na wala nang pera, ganyan.
mhm,
And
mhm,
so I was growing up as a young adult and I was making money on my own. As a nurse, small money, pero I didn't know how to budget it. Like, I'm
mhm,
terrible at budgeting it. And I was like nearing 2 years
mhm,
as a nurse. Tapos parang every quincenas,
mhm.
nagpipetsa de peligro ako. Lagi ako
Mhm,
mawawalan ng pera. And, you're like, I was
mhm,
terrible with money. I gotta tell you this, like, alam mo yung mga crazy people who would even get a loan para lang
mhm,
meron daw motivation to work kasi may
oo, oo.
babayaran. I was one of those. I
Oo.
can tell you, I was terrible at money. But,
Parang sweldo, wala ka pa man, wala ka na.
oo, I was very bad at money.
Mhm,
And, but if there's one redeeming factor about me during that time, I always like to improve myself. So I sat in my room at that point. I was like thinking, this is not good. Like parang wala akong naiipon. Parang mag 2 years na ako sa work. Parang hindi tama yung ginagawa ko. Bakit lagi akong broke before my
Mhm.
salary day? I don't think that's right. So I went out and I bought books because I really love reading. So I went to this national bookstore, right? Konti na lang
Mhm.
yung pera ko nun kasi peso de peligro
Aha.
na naman. And kaya ako na-push, right? So I went to the bookstore, tapos bumili ako ng maraming finance books, and some of them are from local authors, some of international authors. And that is the first time I read about the stock market.
Mhm. Mhm.
1 week before I flew to abroad to work as a
Mhm.
nurse
Mhm.
abroad. 1 week before that, nag-open ako ng account ko.
Mhm.
And then the rest is history.
Oh, nice. So, medyo balik lang akong konti. With you being or practicing yung nursing at that time, was it like yung parang culture shock na, shucks, I really wanted to help people, pero with this kind of help, hindi siya fulfilling? Or more on, is it siguro talagang you found it in yourself na I wanted to help in another way?
I think it's both.
Mhm.
I think the one reason why I stayed at nursing for longer than I maybe would have
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
because it's so fulfilling. Like
Yeah.
it's just one of the kind of jobs that make you feel like you really matter as a person. Kasi yung impact mo sa isang tao, makikita mo right in front of your eyes. Like, I see comatose patients waking up, right? You see them 3 months tulog, hindi
Mhm.
gumagalaw, and then all of a sudden, makikita mo kumakain na mag-isa, taking their
Mhm.
first
Mhm. Mhm.
steps. I see moms and dads having their first baby and such fulfillment like that. And I was
Mhm.
just thinking na parang, I really love it.
Mhm.
I really love all this fulfillment of being a nurse. But there was one time that I went online and I was actually reviewing because I wanted to specialize, which I did. Give me a
Mhm.
second. I specialized as a nurse sa heart. Okay, so I was a
Mhm.
cardio, and I was um I was reading this book, and I went online to search for something. Then sa isang comment, right, sa isang comment, there was a guy who nag-aaway-away kasi sa comments as
Mhm.
usual,
Mhm.
internet.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Keyboard
there's
warriors.
yeah, there was this guy who was saying, well, I work in a research facility for a medicine that is going to potentially help millions of people. What's your move, nurse? And I got mad. Kasi parang kasi na-hurt ako. Kasi na-hurt ako na, yung impact naman kasi talaga ng nurse on an individual person. Kung sino yung
Mhm.
pasyente mo. Maybe
Mhm.
his family, but on the individual person. But doon ko na-realize na, oo nga, no, marami pang ways to help.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
maybe there's a way I could help out in a much larger impact without sacrificing my own health, my own
Mhm.
ambition, my own goals.
Mhm.
So yeah, that really made me realize na parang hindi nursing yung end all be all goal for someone who wants to create an impact, and it opens my mind.
So, then moving forward, sabi mo you opened your first or your account uh, before leaving the Philippines. Kamusta yung first few year or a few months?
Uh,
Was it like yung talagang hardcore stock trader ka na ba? Or is it just like, bili ako ngayon, uy, mababa daw, sige hintayin ko na lang, peso averaging ako.
well, I was very into it the moment I opened. I was already convinced na I have to learn it fast. Kasi
Mhm.
one of the biggest advantage a person can ever have if you're into the stock market is your youth. Kung bata ka,
Mhm.
ang laki talaga ng advantage mo, swear. So,
Mhm.
na-realize ko na kailangan, mag-take advantage ako sa youth ko. So, nandun na ako. Tapos parang, actually, na time ngayon, nagsisisi nga ako. Parang, sinasabi ko, sana nung college ako, nag-start na ako, ganyan.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the reason why I had this sense of urgency to learn it fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very into it the moment I opened stocks. It wasn't the kind na parang check ko lang every month. No, I was there. If I remember it correctly, my first investment was an IPO.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which company
alam mo
kaya
yun,
yan?
this was PX, no, SSI.
I see, SSI.
It was
Okay.
SSI. Well, I don't think you hear SSI nowadays. It's so quiet kasi ang tagal niya, sobrang bumagsak siya.
Well, lalo na ngayon, for sure.
Yeah.
That's nice. So, right then and there, nung start na yun, is it like yung you're in a technical trader agad, yung pinag-aaralan mo, technical analysis, or hindi ka na dumaan doon sa pagiging long-term investor?
Napadumaan ako sa mga sa chismis analysis. Dumaan ako sa Facebook analysis. I think lahat tayo
Yes.
Lahat tayo dadaan talaga dyan. So, matagal yon na parang akala ko tama yung ginagawa ko. That I was listening that these people wouldn't hurt me, and it was a rude awakening after more than half a year and seeing my investments, my savings got wiped out. I got wiped out. So that was a rude awakening. I realized na parang I was doing the wrong thing. Kasi bakit ko inaasa sa iba? Parang kung aasa ka lang din sa iba, bakit ka pa nag-invest mag-isa? Mutual funds ka na lang, right? But if you're trying to invest on your own, you might as well learn how to do it right instead of being dependent to other people. And yun, doon ko na-realize na Facebook analysis, business analysis, they don't. And that's how I got to know my mentor, which is Z. And he was staunchly against it. Like, he was really saying na parang, hindi mo kailangan na may kakilala kang big boy from the inside. Hindi mo kailangan na may alam kang insider information.
May paper ka.
Like, even if they tip, you don't even know how the market will react, right? Like, parang it could be a good tip, but the market would say, damn it, I don't care, sell. And there were so many times in my career na sell on news yung nangyayari. Like parang good news yung lumabas. Bumagsak lalo yung stock. So parang sabi ko, hindi na-work to. Bakit gano'n? And that's when I realized na parang, I feel like technical analysis is a better alternative for me kesa chismis analysis, kesa Facebook analysis. And you know, even funda, kasi hindi talaga siya match for me. For some people, match ang funda, okay? I agree. But for me, it doesn't match at all. And that's when I realized na I have to do it another way. Then I saw how much Zfrix is making money. I think yung pinaka-turning point noon was when he posted a 2 million gain on a single stock. 2 days niya lang tinrade. Tapos na-realize ko na parang 2 million, that would be 2 years worth of my salary as a nurse. So kung tatrabahuin ko lang to ng maayos, kung aaralin ko siya, kung siseryosohin ko siya, I could save myself time. It doesn't,
2 years, no? 2 years.
Yeah, I wasn't even really looking na parang 2 million pera. I was more like, I am saving myself 2 years of my life. Ganun
Yes,
yun na yung tinitingnan ko nun. And that really made me think, now, why not? Diba? Why not? And I enjoyed it naman. So, yun.
Good thing, no? Actually, doon sa tip, I heard this from someone before na sinabi niya, when someone gave you the tip, it's already too late. Yeah, well, and you mentioned si Zfrix, no? He was mentioned to me by a coworker or an office mate, also a friend of mine, sa current employment ko, sa current work ko, and he's the one who told me na, or who showed me na kung ano yung technical analysis when it comes to trading. Kasi like I've mentioned kanina before tayo mag-record, I was a fundamentalist back then. And there was a time na I bought, well, sasabihin ko na, si Surpass. Really.
I was also an investor back then.
X marks the spot talaga eh. So, I bought it. I feel na, wow, ganda-ganda ng position ko. So, ngayon niya lang in-explain sa akin, this coworker of mine, na when you hold that trade of yours, uh, how high can you hold kung wala kang strategy behind it? Kasi sa akin, nangyari before, I'm holding it for almost half a year. And then, it plummets talaga. Talagang hindi na siya naka-recover up to now, I think, up to now. So, um, naka-relate ako sa kanya and dun sa sinabi niya. And really, you have to, tama ka na, for some, yung pagiging fundamentalist is works for them. Pero if you're looking into saving that yung time more than gaining the money, tama ka. Para mas suited niya yung when you're actually into technical trading.
Well, share ko lang, Kian, because we have something called Trading Republic. Trading Republic is an aftercare group for people who use the same technical analysis that we do sa ZFT. And meron kaming welcome orientation for new members. Welcome to the tribe. There was this one girl who has been investing for 10, 12 years, I think. 10, 12 years na siya nag-invest. Much longer than many of those I know that has been investing. Kasi, syempre, yung mga kakilala ko, siguro mga ka-age ko din na. Lately lang sila nag-invest na ako pa yung nagtuturo. So, this lady, she's been investing for 10 years, no? Naabutan niya pa yung mga pa-boom ng URC. I mean, not pa, but maaga siyang nakapasok. That's what I'm trying to say. And because of the recent pandemic, all the gains she ever had for the last 10 years was gone. And that was something that fundamentalists have to understand regarding their buy and hold strategy. You might have had a gain for 10 years, pero pwede siyang ma-wipe in a month. So, for people like me, I'm not ready for that kind of loss. Kahit paper gain lang siya. I'm not ready for the kind of loss. I would rather be able to lock in profits than to wait 10 years and go back to zero.
Yes. Correct. Marami talagang, for sure, maraming ganyan story ngayon sa pandemic. What's your memorable trade? Would you recall one?
It's funny. Would you like the good or the bad one?
Both.
The bad one was something called tapet back then. I'm not sure kung nabutan mo siya. But Facebook analysis din yun eh. I got in at a pretty bad price. Mataas. And I was still abroad. The stock market here sa Philippines, mag-open doon ng 4 a.m. 4 a.m. So I have to wake up at 4. Before work, I have to wake up at 4 a.m. and get ready to work. But I still have to check my stocks. So I went to Facebook and boom, kasi Tapet was looking for oil. Yun yung pang-hype sa amin. Makakahanap ng oil sa Palawan yan. So, well, I was there when I saw the memorandum come out from Tapet. Wala silang nakitang oil. And, Kion, for the next 2 days, nag-flooring siya. And I was in that stock at probably the highs. So, it went 50% on upon open. The next day, 50% down ulit. So, that was my memorable bad trade. Although, marami akong
pero wala kang ano ba dun, yung mga rules for that nung binila mo?
Wala pa.
Did you go all in talaga?
I wasn't all in kasi I was ipit in other stocks din eh. Hindi pa ako nagka-cut noon. Wala pa akong rules. Hindi pa ako na-mentor noon. Wala akong rules. Basta binibili ko lang kung ano yung sinasabi sa Facebook. So, I didn't even know what to do back then. But I think Tapet was the turning point. Doon ko talaga na-realize na tama na. I have to get myself mentored. I really have to find someone who knows what they're doing because obviously I don't know what I'm doing. The people I'm listening to don't know what they're doing. So I better get myself together and find someone else who will My most memorable trade
Good.
na positive was with Now.
Uh-huh.
So now, and well, I think everyone knows naman what happened to Now kasi it was telco series. So yun, that was a memorable one kasi the volatility is something traders need for. If if you're a trader, you want something volatile. You don't want choppy market. Ayaw mo nung hindi natutuloy na pagtaas. So now it's really something that was fueled by emotions, and by that time I had enough experience not to get too swayed by everyone who was being emotional about it. So yun.
Yeah, I wanted to ano lang din, parang I want to point out yung binanggit sa akin ng coworker ko na sabi niya, yung mga subscription nyo through emails, Facebook, for the tips on which stock to buy, tanggalin nyo na yan. Or, he said na parang, if you wanted to be all in with technical trading or technical analysis talaga, ikaw yung pagkakatiwalaan mo on your studies, on yung pag-aaral mo, yung iyong strategies. So, sabi niya, yeah, I can still remember. That was, I think, same time around July then of last year.
Yeah.
Di pa kami nakakapag-regroup ulit with a small group we have. Pero, yun. How do you snowball yung when you're starting to earn doon sa iyong technical trading, paano siya nag-snowball into, siguro probably you're trading way bigger than before?
Well, hindi kasi siya straight line na pataas. You know, hindi siya straight line pataas na parang malaki na yung account ko. At some point, magkakaparang may ceiling ka din sa portfolio. Na bumabot sa percentage sa ganun kalaki, wala yung kikita mo, ganyan. So kasi you have to get used to the new risk eh. So I think what really helped was when I started to make sure that I trade out of opportunity na lang, hindi na out of pressure. And that happened when I created other income other than trading. So I had to be in other businesses. I have to make sure I have an emergency savings. I had to have like life insurance. Like I have like 5 insurance. Ang dami kong insurance. Kasi in the beginning, I was doing this big mistake. I went all in stocks. Like I wouldn't even put money in my savings account because I was so hell bent into retiring from being a nurse and going home from being an OFW that I wasn't putting any money in my savings. Lahat ng kinikita ko, diretso talaga siya sa account ko sa stocks, right? And akala ko good yun. Kasi alam mo yung hustle culture natin ngayon, you either go in or nasa hustle culture tayo. And I thought that was a good idea. But it had the exact opposite effect on my psychology. Every time my portfolio loses money, I get too affected. Kasi that's my whole life there, you know? I'm betting on it 100%. So what I did when I was able to save enough emergency fund for a year, and I was able to secure money to pay for my insurance for 1 to 2 years. Matagal yun. That was when I started trading from opportunity na talaga. Tsaka, alam mo kasi, pagka maraming beses ka nang nasunog sa kaka-trade mo dahil lang gusto mong mag-trade, pero dahil wala namang setup, manadala ka.
Yes.
Manadala ka.
Mapapasok ka na with that.
Oo. May matututo ka na parang, ilang beses ko nung ginagawa, ito lang, hindi ako natututo. At some point, you get fed up with the same mistakes you make.
It's good to know, no? Parang it's good to share doon sa mga starting na gustong mag technical trading na yung not putting all your eggs in one basket. It applies then with your portfolio in terms of hindi lang sa stocks or sa kung ano mga paper assets that you have, but yung portfolio ng entire assets mo, whether it's you're having a business, you have your, of course, you have your life insurance, and then also yung pag, the trade mo sa stock. How do you, parang with yourself pa, paano mo siya ginagawa? Parang you pay something on yourself as a salary lang, hindi ka nagka-cut ng ito na yung naging profit ko for this trade and with this business, ito na yung sa akin. So, how do you...
So do you mean when I was still in OFW or now?
Now, siguro, now.
Now kasi, hindi ko na ginagalaw yung profits ko.
Wow.
I have money coming in from other stuff. Like, for example, like I told you, I work for a prop trading firm. So, the pay there is enough for my expenses. And syempre, may iba rin akong investments and businesses that I can get money from. Kasi,
Nice.
yun nga, like, I can't emphasize on this enough. And this is also probably why I try to tell people na huwag kayong mag-full-time trader. Kahit na full-time trader ako. Lalo na kung may family ka, unless may pagkukuhanan ka ng pera outside of trading. Kasi iba talaga yung pressure. Human beings under pressure, we don't excel all the time. Kaso kung full-time trading ka, you have to perform all the time. So kung minsan-minsan lang yung pag-excel with high pressure, hindi siya sustainable. It's not consistent. Yes.
May certain peaks lang siya, may certain times lang na nagpi-peak.
Yeah. So I really advocate even to my students na don't go full time unless you're sure na kayang tapatan yung kaya mong sahurin. Lalo na kung may family ka. But for younger ones, let's say 21, ganyan. Sige, go! Go! Diba? Like, sige, go! And
you have time to spend, no?
Yeah, you can make a mistake, you can bounce back, it's fine. But I do see them na parang na-realize din talaga nila and they try to make money muna from outside of trading before kasi pag naging ganun, parang medyo gamble. You kind of gamble your life away that way. And it worked for a few people. Like for example, si Z, yung mentor ko. He went straight to trading. Wala siyang other sources of income. It worked for him. But you can't try to base your life plan on someone's exceptional ability. You know, try to stack the favor for your odds, not against your odds. And if you wanna go full-time trading, dapat kasado ka somewhere else.
Parang not everyone can be LeBron James, ano?
Yeah, tsaka parang, I mean, I think the only reason LeBron James became LeBron James is because of his strategic work ethic.
Yeah.
Parang, hindi dahil ginambol niya yung buong buhay niya for it. He was very strategic about it. I mean, he started young. He started, alam mo yun, it wasn't a gamble at all. It was a very strategic way of getting into his stardom. And I think people have to understand that.
Right. What do you think yung mga key, siguro probably one of the last question na lang na meron ako, ano yung key skills you think na if meron yung isang technical trader, he will most likely succeed?
Grit. Someone who could persevere even when they've been losing. Kasi stock trading is a game of probabilities. Kahit like, isa siya sa mga pinaka-tricky na field kasi even if you're doing the right thing, you could be losing money. And kaya nahihirapan yung mga top performers sa school mag-succeed sa stocks kasi hindi sila sanay na nagkakamali sila. So when they come in here and they study hard, they do their best. I've seen these kind of people. Actually, I'm one of them. Na parang you kind of, you want, like, parang bakit gano'n? Bakit hindi ko mapagana? You get so much
Mm-mm.
frustration. And they quit. They quit because of
Mm.
that. But for some people na parang, they brush off na parang, okay, sige, fine, hindi na work.
Mm-mm.
Itatry ko pa rin, hindi nila pinapersonal na yung losses. Kaya, dami kong kilala sa community na ang galing-galing na traders, pero nakakatawa who they are when
Mm-mm.
they were in school. So,
Mm-mm.
so I think it's a personality thing. If it's not personality, but a character thing. It's something you can develop. If you have grit, you probably have more than most of
Mm.
other traders. Kasi maraming nagkukwit pagka hindi na nila nakuha yung gusto nila. People don't understand that the barrier of entry to trading is very low. Meaning kahit sino pwedeng mag-open ng account, right? You can
Mm.
even open an account with 1,000 pesos, dalawang samgyupsal lang, pwede ka na
Mm.
mag-trade,
Yes,
right?
totoo.
So the barrier of entry is very low. But
Mm.
yung high barrier is among the people with that big amount of number na nakapasok who will really take it seriously, who will really keep
Mm.
going, who will really work hard. Yun yung
Mm.
mahirap. And a lot of people, they don't give stock trading the respect it deserves by thinking na dapat within 1 year, kumikita na ako. But alam mo yun, think about it, Kiyon, how many years were you in college? 4, right?
4.
Typically,
Mm.
4 years.
Average,
Pero hindi
yeah.
naman, pero hindi naman natin in-expect na habang nag-aaral tayo during those 4 years, dapat kumikita na tayo sa
Mm.
course natin. Di ba hindi?
Mm.
We give it
Yes,
the
yes.
respect it deserves. I have to study now. I
Mm.
will make money later on. So
Mm.
stock hindi yung mga tao, gusto nila, kakapasok lang nila, kita na dapat kagad sila. They think it's the easy way to wealth. Well, no, it's
Mm.
not true. It's not true. But I think it has a very good potential for rewards if you take it seriously.
Keep that in mind. And ano yung ma-advise mo naman for those who are already planning to start their journey and nandun sa analysis paralysis stage?
Paano analysis paralysis? Yun ba yung
Parang,
tipong wala pang account?
yeah, wala pang account pero
Good.
lahat na panay drawing na yung kanilang laptops.
I have to tell you, Kiyon, that's number one obstacle sa lahat. Actually, I recently filmed a vlog. I recently filmed a vlog on how to start trading in 4 easy steps. And sinabi ko talaga doon, the number one, mag-open ka ng account. Kasi, sa dinami-dami na nagtatanong sa akin, paano ba mag-start na-explain mo na, alam mo yun, and you just really gave your time. You really helped these people out. And they don't even open an account. It seems to be the biggest barrier to someone who wants to get into stocks. Hindi sila nag-open ng account. Magbukas ka na. That's,
Totoo.
once you open it, mas madali nang pumindot-pindot sa laptop mo. Mahirap yung pag-open kasi maghahanap ka pa ng birth certificate. yung ganong bagay. It's so annoying. And just, my advice is to just get started. Get started as soon as you can, but don't risk big money kasi mag-aaral ka pa.
Yes.
So ang dami nagsasabi na, aral ka muna bago invest. Hindi. Bukas ka ng account mo, huwag kang maglagay ng malaking pera, tapos mag-aaral ka. Kasi hindi talaga nagbubukas sa mga tao yung sinasabi mong nagkaka-analysis paralysis. Dami-daming ganyan.
Yeah. By the way, I'll link yung video ni Celeste down here somewhere later. Last, for those who wanted to really take this seriously, where they can learn siguro or get tips and guidance on how to be a technical trader or a stock trader.
So, if you really want to take this seriously, you have to understand that you're going to look at this as a business and not as a hobby. Because a hobby will pay differently, a business will pay differently, and you'll have a different expectation on both. Yung sa hobby, basta nag-enjoy ka lang. Yung sa business, kailangan may balik sa'yo. So if you want to look at this as a business, you really have to commit to it as well. Hindi pag-type mo lang, pagka nakakomo ka lang. So you have to commit to it. You have to really talk to yourself na you deserve to learn this. Kasi a lot of people, they don't even go there kasi na-intimidate sila. But if you think about the rewards of what stocks and trading can do to you have to think of parang, you deserve that. You deserve to make that kind of money too. You deserve to give yourself an option to make that kind of money too.
Mhm.
If you think that way, we have a free Facebook group. It's called Trading for Rookies by ZF, and you enter it. Tapos it's yun nga lang, you have to understand that strict kami sa pagpapasok ng mga tao kasi it's a free group. And we want
Of
people
course.
to come in na committed talaga, hindi yung hindi pa sure, ganyan.
Mhm.
So once you come in, there's gonna be some sorting, papasok ka sa different houses. There's House of Dragon, House of Hydra, House of Griffin. Oh, it's really cute, right? So within those houses, there's accountability groups inside. So it's a thriving, happy, positive community
Mhm.
full of people who really want to find financial freedom. So siyempre, careful kami sa pinapaka kasi gusto namin, yung mga pumapasok doon, committed talaga. Tapos hindi
Mhm.
toxic, yung gano'n,
Mhm.
the right
Mhm.
mindset.
Mhm.
So there are
Mhm.
units inside. We explain what the stock market is. So if you don't know what the stock market is, don't worry, we got that for you. We even
Great.
have a step-by-step we even have a step-by-step unit on how to open an account. We got that for you. So andun talaga lahat.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
there's a thriving community in training for rookies, but the question is, are you ready for it?
Guys, by the way, I'll link that as well. Trading for Rookies, no?
Yes.
Yes, I'll link it below. So check nyo na lang siya, guys. And of course, lastly, we're siguro if people wanted to follow you, Celeste, saan ka ba nila mahahanap? And for any siguro those who want to seek advice and just wanted to siguro magtanong lang sa'yo about life and how you do it as a nurse before, and of course now na ang dami mong ginagawa, you're very active, you're also building your personal brand. So where can we find you?
Thank you, Kion. So I'm everywhere. So I'm mostly active on Facebook. It's called Rooting for Celeste, Celeste. Rooting for
Mhm.
Celeste at Facebook. YouTube, it's the same, Rooting for Celeste. Instagram, it's the same, Rooting for Celeste. Sa Twitter, it's the same, pero walang letter E sa dulo kasi kulang na yung characters. And I also have a
Okay.
website, www.rootingforceleste.com. If you want to email me, it's rootingforceleste@gmail.com. That's where to find me. I'm everywhere.
Great. Thank you, Celeste.
Bye.